Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, great to have you with us on.
The Hawks continue their journey as they play an interconference matchup in this road game. And as we've got a few moments.
Well, guys, he told me they're up against.
Thank you, David. Hey, Brent, two monster defensive teams tonight. Premier stoppers on both sides. You're a former scorer. You like a game like this. What do you have to do to get your points, the challenge of scoring?
You know, some of the great scorers in our league, Kevin, do a great job of realizing when a team has put itself in a team foul situation where they can get to the free throw line. So as that happens, great scorers might put more pressure on the defense to force foul calling. Then you go and get some of those freebies. That can loosen up a few things, especially if your defensive stopper suffers through some foul trouble.
It's always great as a scorer to figure out how you're going to attack them, even though maybe an initial roadblock or slowing you down. But you get so much more out of it when you think around the problem and figure it out and get that angle you want.
And how about as a scorer sometimes, Kevin, putting that aside and playing the game within the game and helping your teammates, maybe getting a few more open looks as the attention is drawn to you. Maybe you do your damage a little more subtly, and that's with ball movement, setting up your teammates.
Great point. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court right now for the Hawks. Schroeder and Bellinelli team up in the backcourt. Muscala is out there with Collins, and it's Prince in at the small forward position.
Now, Pau Gasol, even though he's slight, does not mind the contact there. Great body control to figure out how to bury the shot regardless of the bump.
That doesn't go either for Schroeder.
No doubt disappointed with that one. He'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, I'd put that play on repeat. The setup was perfect. Just need a better result next time.
Pass to Muscala, and the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, San Antonio. 4-point game.
Maybe he's not the most aggressive defender or the most physical, but Aldridge does have mobility. That time he sends it back. That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
Here's Schroeder. 26 points for him last game against Boston.
Do a deep dive into LaMarcus Aldridge's career numbers. He is just one of the best big men shooting the basketball, especially from the mid-range, with incredible consistency. He can hurt you from all over the floor, but especially from around the 15-foot mark. That is his bread and butter.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
The Hawks working the ball around. Prince against Leonard to stop the run. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. They're not going to miss those all that often.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
A slow start for Atlanta in this one, trailing by 10. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Just didn't like the energy level in that one, and that offensive execution also was lacking.
Now, they made a few shots, Reg, but just wildly inconsistent.
Down low. That's good from Gasol on the assist by Ginobili. 8 points for Pau Gasol.
So blessed with excellent court vision, especially for a wing player. Ginobili repeatedly finds the open man.
And the foul called on Pau Gasol. That is his first foul of the game. Brent, for the NBA, it's been a very prosperous time over the last couple decades. What do you think has been the key factor or factors in the growth and the popularity of the game?
Kevin, I think the game speaks for itself and always will. The NBA, to me, is the greatest game that we get a chance to watch. Athleticism and poetry and motion. But one of the things at its foundation and core that I've loved is that the guys that are carrying the mantle for the league right now are likable. And there's nothing that beats likability.
And they appreciate, Brent, I think they appreciate the people that were before them very much.
I think they not only appreciate what's gone before them, Kevin, they're in the moment now. And they appreciate what's going on with their careers in their moment.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Murray subbed in for Tony Parker. Luke Babbitt, he's checked in for Atlanta. Bertans, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Delaney kicks to Plumlee. Plumlee with the screen. Babbitt from long range. Atlanta again missing. San Antonio leading by 12. Plumlee with the steal. To the middle. It's stolen by Green. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Anderson with the ball.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing. The passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
Delaney kicks to Plumlee. Plumlee with the screen.
And the San Antonio Spurs, the #1 ranked defense in the league the last 2 seasons running. Top 5 defensively for the last half decade. When you play the black and silver, you may end up black and blue.
He hits the second from the line. And for the Spurs, you look at every defensive metric. Blocks, rebounding, Trent avoiding fouls. They're ahead of the pack.
Well, the steals are the only thing, Kevin, in the defensive category where they simply were just above average. And that's because they don't take many risks. They're willing to get themselves in great position and be in great position consistently and wear down the opposition because they're just so fundamental on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
For Atlanta, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And he's good on the second.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild. Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Delaney. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Bazemore on the wing. A three-pointer is right on target.
And that's just a pretty looking stroke from the outside by Bazemore there. The perimeter shot now a staple of his game.
Delaney. The shot, no good. Pau Gasol has been leading the charge for San Antonio. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Well, not exactly. This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. We've got Plumlee. Luke Babbitt is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Kent Bazemore, and it's Delaney in at the 1. San Antonio leading by 13. It's Anderson with the drive, and the shot goes down. Anderson's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for San Antonio.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Babbitt. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. It's deflected, and they get it back. Ilyasova, no one around him. It's a very good look and converts.
Well, you give Ilyasova some space out there in the mid-range, and he's going to take those chances.
Hey, Brent, you went from player to announcer. What different aspect of the game do you notice now watching it from the booth?
You know, I think it's great just to have the perspective when I'm able to sit courtside, Kevin, and watch everything that goes on outside the play. The reaction from coaches to players and their demeanor, whether they're carrying out their assignments, watch guys on the bench. So much more emotion I can catch sitting on the sidelines next to you.
I bet. The Spurs shooting their second and third free throws tonight. Free throw, good, Anderson. And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls.
Gay dishes to Ginobili. He can't get it to go. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Well, if I had a calendar, I would have circled this one. But I love it when they get together. Last year, they split the two games between them, and I'll bet their battles are just as tightly contested this year.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson, and Parker's subbed in for Patty Mills. Prince with it, picked up by Aldridge. 6 on the shot clock. Muscala, he gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Muscala's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Right side, Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. And the Spurs lead by 11.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And that's why Schroeder has a spot in the rotation. Coach recognizes his passing ability. He sets up his teammates well.
That's good from Muscala.
How about the Spurs clinching their 20th straight playoff appearance last season? An amazing run, more than twice as long as the next active streak. And the longest streak in the league was the Sixers from 1950 to 1971. I think the Spurs are going to get past him.
Puts it up from 12 and off the front iron, and in it goes. Schroeder's got his first bucket in this one.
Schroeder continuing to build his confidence, shooting the ball from the perimeter. I'd like to see him square up and sink those J's.
And Greg Popovich tied for the longest streak of consecutive playoff appearances by a head coach.
Well, how about 18 straight 50-win seasons for Pop? Just a remarkable run of tremendous success where you could look at maybe 5 or 6 other opportunities where the San Antonio Spurs could have won another NBA title. You realize...
Look at that jam.
No way.
I mean, just beautiful.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's foul number 2 for him.
And they can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
And the Spurs making a change here. Gasol's checked in.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his 3rd foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany handed the keys as the full-time starter at the point guard in his 4th season.
And with his confidence and competitive spirit, you know he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity. And you got to love his athleticism coupled with that big play capability. It's just exciting to see how good this young man can become.
Here's Aldridge. He can't get that one to fall. So Atlanta will take it the other way. Prince, the pass to Bellinelli. Back to Prince. Muscala with the ball. Leonard picks him up. Prince's shot is good.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
And Leonard has it in the corner. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Leonard's got 4 points this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Schroeder kicks to Bellinelli. 50 seconds left here in the second. They set the pick. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Well, I have no idea how he made that, but hey, sometimes a little bit of luck helps.
And Leonard has it in the corner. And finished off by Leonard.
And for a player who didn't enter the league with breakdown ability off the dribble, guess what? Kawhi will break you down.
The Hawks trail by 8. Now Bellinelli. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Boston. Feeds it to Collins. And stolen by Aldridge. Offensive rebound. A 3. And it's Schroeder missing.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
And the shot goes in. And now it's a 10-point Spurs lead.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
And he lays it straight in. Schroeder's got 6.
And even though Schroeder might be on the light end of things when it comes to his weight, he remains relentless driving towards the basket.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs in the driver's. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow.
And now, the 2K Sports
Hey, everybody.
halftime show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny. It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They have an 8-point lead. Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smooth.
And that will conclude.
And the second half about to start here in just. Here's Parker.
Well, the Spurs system hasn't changed through the years, but certainly some things being more emphasized than others. You had the post attack, certainly with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and then it shifted to the drive and kick style with Manu and Tony Parker. And now they're back to playing the mid-range game with Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. And it's Parker in at the point. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And so Gasol nails them both. And in the past, there's been a distaste for isolation basketball in the Spurs organization. But we're seeing more iso ball running through Kawhi and Aldridge.
They do a great job of passing out of the post, and mainly that's the reason why they use it. Force teams to come down as the ball gets closer to the rim and commit several defenders, and then the spacing takes over on the weak side. So they still utilize a pass-first style, and the isolation kind of sets up opportunities on the weak side.
It's Schroeder with the drive. Collins, good.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
And Bellinelli kicks it over to Schroeder. Offline with his 3.
Man, it just hurts to miss shots like this. Mentally, you question yourself, and it can affect your confidence.
And then Leonard with the dunk.
Just the level of power and explosiveness. Leonard just tenacious at the rim.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. LaMarcus Aldridge standing 6'11", tall for the power forward position.
He's got the size advantage on most defenders and a devastating ability to shoot a turnaround jumper, especially over the left shoulder from the mid-range. So a great and capable scorer.
The Hawks trail by 14. Schroeder dishes to Muscala. Prince with a screen on Gasol. Leonard with the steal. Goes up. And Gasol with the dunk.
Stellar anticipation by Leonard to create the fast break opportunity. That's why he's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
For Atlanta, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
A different look now for San Antonio. Kyle Anderson comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili.
Well, Schroeder likes to drive first, now establishing the shoot first confidence. Love watching him rise up immediately after the catch.
Parker inside. He's guarded by Schroeder. And it's Aldridge on the follow. And the Spurs lead by 16.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. There's a screen. Schroeder kicks to Muscala. And it's sent back by Aldridge. It's good. Spurs leading by 14. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Kicks it out to Leonard. Now the pass to Aldridge. He's good with the little jumper in close. Aldridge has got 4 points this quarter.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage. Prince
against Leonard. Prince outside. Clock at 6. And it goes down 2 points.
Timeout.
Prince has got 6. We often talk about how players have evolved over the years, but Brent, what about strategy on both sides of the ball? Where has that evolved?
I think the last 5 or 6 years, what we're seeing is definitely on the offensive end, more of a European style of basketball where we have passing, off the ball cutting, multiple times where the big comes out of the hole, which is the post-up area, Kevin, to the top of the key to be a conduit from both sides of the floor. That draws the whole line of defense up and creates opportunities behind the play. If we go to the defensive end, Kev, that's all about switching. Versatility on the defensive end comes from switching, swarming defenses, and that's where teams are trending to go.
Babbitt kicks to Delaney, and he makes the bucket, true contact, and gets the whistle too.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And that 84% free throw percentage is a testament to all the hard work he's put in on the line.
Well, there's a couple things that Patty is working on to be a better player in this league, and finding the open man is one of them.
Bazemore passes to Delaney. There's the dish to Plumlee. Knocked away. Laverne with the steal. In transition, here come the Spurs. Shots good by Mills. And the Spurs lead by 13.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
Back to Delaney. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Delaney's got 7 now in this quarter.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
And stolen by Ilyasova. Shot on the wing, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Delaney's got 9 points now in just the second half. And Mills kicks to Murray. Knocks it loose, and stolen by Bazemore. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. And he knocks down the first one.
Well, Bazemore showing what every lefty has, and that's craftiness. Just uses his body very well and takes smart shots within the offense.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Pau Gasol is checked in for Laverne. Davis Bertans comes in for Anderson, and it's Ginobili in for Patty Mills. Bertans kicks to Gasol. And Gasol slams it in.
Always great to see Pau Gasol so involved in the offensive sets, picking his shots carefully and knocking down a ton.
Here's Delaney. From deep three-point range, got it off in time, but it's no good. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. We'll return shortly.
Flip mode. 9-7. Bust.
Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Let's be the one that just plays hard.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. The Hawks trail by 9. On the court right now for the Hawks. They've got Kent Bazemore. Luke Babbitt is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Delaney in at the 2. Ilyasova sets a screen for Schroeder. Babbitt, and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth, physical basketball, guys.
Leonard, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. Murray kicks to Gasol. It's tipped.
Ilyasova not known for his defense, but with the length he has on those arms of his, he got to the ball.
That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket from Delaney. Murray with it now, guarded by Schroeder. Here's Gasol. Count it, and he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
And it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
Schroeder dishes to Ilyasova. Pass to Delaney, and there's the feed to Schroeder. Hawks passing it around. Babbitt passes to Delaney. Ilyasova a screen. Shot clock at 5. They get it back. Rejected by Gasol.
Got to respect the reach and length of Pau Gasol. Outstanding job of skying up for that rejection.
Murray kicks to Bertans. Back to Murray. Dishes it to Gasol. And Gasol with the dunk.
Inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. The Hawks trail by 8. Schroeder outside. He feeds it to Babbitt. He kicks to Bazemore. The 3. The offensive rebound. Ilyasova hits the button.
Ilyasova playing with a high motor tonight. Lots of activity. He's good for at least a few second chance points.
San Antonio calls timeout. Ersan Ilyasova out of Turkey, the 36th pick back in 2005.
He's carved out a long and nice career as a spread 4 in this league. Has played for many teams, but has not played in many different ways. He's a good shooter and a good rebounder and keeps getting chances in the NBA.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Davis Bertans, and Tony Parker is subbed in for Murray. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
And the Hawks making a change here. Collins is checked in.
There's no way he even felt that contact. That's what makes Leonard so tough to defend on the dribble drive.
Schroeder against Parker. Shoots from 12. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Schroeder. Gasol kicks to Parker. And Leonard has it in the corner. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 5th assist in this one. Schroeder against Parker. Schroeder dishes to Collins. And the shot goes down.
A heady play there from Schroeder, zipping the pass to the teammate who had the cleanest look on the possession.
Back to Parker. Pass to Aldridge. Manu Ginobili on the wing. He dishes it to Gasol. And Gasol slams it in.
I tell you what, I don't know what he did in the locker room, but he needs to do a little bit more of it because he's on fire.
1:53 left here in the 4th quarter. Parker against Schroeder. Prince in the corner. And the foul call on Kawhi Leonard. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Schroeder. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Gasol with the dunk.
Such a good feel for the game. Kawhi knows exactly what this offense is trying to accomplish and acts as a willing facilitator.
Schroeder against Parker. It's good, and the San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Schroeder. And Parker, here we go. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Schroeder against Parker. And Parker with the block.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Spurs.
And guys, the fast break was run, I thought, beautifully all night by these guys. I think that was a big part of their success.
Yeah, they definitely ran the break well. A big advantage in that category, and they continually put pressure on the defense.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Pau Gasol.
Just a really solid effort on the offensive end. He was getting any shot that he wanted.
And that one's good. Schroeder
and scoring in a variety of ways so far in this game.
Parker drives in. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. Gasol with the steal. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. They grab their own miss. And the Hawks with possession here. A 12-point game. Prince in the corner. Puts up a three. Here's Collins. Leonard with the steal. Leonard on the wing. Over Prince. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Parker.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight. David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it.
Living like Cali. Living like Cali. Living like Cali. Living like Cali. I just bought carrots. Living like, yeah, back with another one. But I gas up another one. Next to my back, another one. Living like Cali. Hey, back with another